Let me pull this up right here in the group. What's up, guys? We're live right now.
What's up, everybody?
So, as always, guys, let me just put the show on here. Boom. Danny Tran. So, guys, if you don't know Danny, the guy is crushing it with his agency. We're going to dive into some questions there, but more importantly, what he had to overcome to get there, because every successful entrepreneur has an amazing story. And the reason why I want everyone to know yours, and guys, it's so important to ask these questions. What did you overcome to get there? What was your biggest struggle to get there? Like, how'd you overcome that? Because we all face adversity and people think you just need skill set.
Yeah.
True. So if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and comment down below any questions that you have. I'll come back and answer those at some point. And same thing for Facebook Live right now. Go ahead and put the question down below. We'll answer those. So Danny, bro, friend,
bro beans.
What's up, man?
What's up? No, I'm stoked to be here. For everybody that's watching this, I was just in my group. I literally just interviewed Robb. That was a kick-ass one. And, I met Robb. When was the Atlanta one? That was like October,
dude,
right?
That was, I can't believe that was the first time we met. I could have swore we met before that, but that was the actual first time we met in person.
Yeah, I think we were like mini influencers or whatever at that point. And it's just so crazy just kind of growing with you over the past few months, man. And yeah, stoked to be in here. First time I met you, I was like, I got to interview this guy. And, look where we are now. Super stoked.
Likewise, man. So, guys, if you have questions, let us know below. But yeah, so Danny, man, tell us about where it all started for you, because I haven't actually personally heard your story. I heard some of it in the green room from the last call. So,
oh, yeah.
So fill us in, bro. Where did it start? How'd you get to where
man. Do you want the 5-minute version? Or do you want the book-long version?
we have what? We have 45 minutes. So just hit us with that shot, man.
Cool, man. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of ramble. At any point, feel free to stop me if you want to break down like a specific part. But yeah, man, diving straight into it. First of all, thank you so much for inviting me on here. Appreciate it, guys. If you guys have any questions throughout the whole thing, happy to share anything and just provide a lot of value. So let me just preface this whole thing by saying I grew up in a very traditional Asian household. I'm Vietnamese, so anything that I'm doing now, anything like entrepreneurially related, was completely out of the question, right? Like I'm supposed to be, I have tattoos. That's very unconventional. I was supposed to be like a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer at this point, right? That's why there's not
fire, by the way.
They appreciate it. That's why I'm not sure you noticed. There's not a lot of Asian people in the game because it's not a very unconventional thing to do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I went to college. I got a degree in business. My parents wanted me to get a corporate job. They wanted me to work at like a Dell or Fujitsu, something really boring. And I'm from Silicon Valley. So I was like, okay, I want to be involved with at least the startup field. So my first step into anything was in financial technology. So we built banking solutions, so apps that like Chase and Bank of America use. And so people are like, Danny, how did you go from that to digital marketing, right? And so my role there was actually performance marketing, which is another fancy term for like growth and scale. So at a really young age, I was already concerned with I was very metric driven. I understood like putting $1 in here, getting $3 out, understanding customer acquisition, all that good stuff. And then I love the role. I love marketing, but I fucking hated the job, right? It was my 9 to 5. I was waking up every single day, just driving through like 2 hours of traffic. Wait, did you ever work at a 9 to 5? That was like your sales job, right?
Yeah. Yellow Pages.
Yeah. So I hated the job, right? I was like, okay, I'm driving like 2 hours to work every single day. I'm doing the same thing every day. I have the CEO that I hate. He's just drilling me with things. And then I'm just on Instagram every single day. And I'm just seeing people travel the world. And I'm like, how are they doing this? How are people making so much money traveling the world? And hold on, it's kind of blurry now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. Yeah, so I was like, how are they doing this? I hated this job. And so every single day, I love the marketing, but I didn't know what to do. I was stuck in my 9 to 5. And then one day, literally out of the blue, dude, I came into work and the CEO's like, everyone gets into the meeting room. He comes in. I don't know how to tell you guys this, but we have no more money in the company and everyone is fired. So that's pretty typical for a lot of startups. So if you guys are in the startup field, startup companies run out of funding all the time. And so we are about to raise our Series B funding. They were banking on that next round of funding to basically provide money for the rest of the employees. And so from there, I was fired. So I literally lost my job overnight, no severance package, no income whatsoever. And from there, I was like, okay, I'm young. I'm like 20 years old. What do I do at this point? So let me dive into what everyone is calling entrepreneurship, online money. Like everybody, I went out to Google how to make money online, and I literally tried everything: affiliate marketing, network marketing. I was in a weird pyramid scheme. I was in like an MLM, e-commerce, crowdfunding.
Who hasn't been?
What's that?
Who hasn't been?
Yeah, so I literally tried everything, right? Like everything that popped up on how to make money online, I literally tried. And I shit you not, man, like 9 out of 10 things I tried failed. Luckily for me, one of the e-commerce brands that I started eventually clicking. And so it wasn't, so we just talked about this, but it was an e-commerce brand. We were on Kickstarter and we were able to scale that past 6 figures in profit in like 6 months, which was amazing. So at that point, I was like, holy shit, this online money making thing, it's kind of real. Like this is gonna be the rest of my life. And so that was 6 figures in profit, by the way. Like I hate these e-com guys, like, oh, this is a 6-figure company when their profit margin is like 5 to 10%.
Yep.
These big screenshots. I'm like, dude, okay. Anyways, sorry, side rant.
Truth.
But,
Truth.
yeah, so like we scaled past 6 figures in profit with that e-commerce brand. So I was like, okay, this online money making thing is real. Like I love the freedom. So at that point, I started to travel. I became what you would call like a digital nomad. So I was kind of living in like different places around the world, just traveling. I love the freedom. And I was literally banking on this company to provide freedom for myself for the rest of my life. I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Fast forward a little bit, we ended up getting into legal troubles with one of the largest corporations in the US. You know who it is, but I don't want to mention it live. But we basically got a cease and desist from this company, and that literally bankrupted the company overnight. And I actually have I also have a screenshot of that. That's also in my webinar.
So, yours in the webinar too? Oh,
yeah, I have that. So I have the cease and desist for the signature. So when that cease and desist came, I'll touch on this a little bit. I was like, this is a fucking joke. Like they sent it to our PO box, my mailbox, my partner's mailbox, and then we're like, whatever, right? But it kept on going. So I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. At that point, I knew somebody who was an attorney. So I was like, let me just send it to this guy to check it out. He was like, dude, this is fucking serious. The person that is issuing this to you guys has won like multiple $1 million cases for this company. So we're like, holy shit, right? And so we got in contact with them, and basically all this shit happened. And we basically had to change the name of the company. We had to scrap all the inventory and everything that we've ever built from that point to where we were then. It literally vanished overnight. So that was like one of the worst moments of my life. Like I'm laughing about it now, but it was fucking crazy, man.
Dude, that is insane. I know that gets crazy. So what'd you do? Like, what was your first reaction? Because it was you and your partner, right?
Yeah. So obviously we thought it was a joke. And the second thing is like just this wave of anxiety of like, what the fuck do we do? And then after we were like, okay, well, obviously we have to legally, because at that point we weren't like an LLC or anything. It was still tied to our personal assets. We didn't know anything about business at that point. We were like 20. So we're like, okay, if they sue us for $1 million, we're fucking screwed, right? So we didn't know what to do. So we just went with everything that our attorney told us to do, and we just literally lost everything. And then from that point, I fell into like this huge depression. I was in this stage where like I struggled with a lot of alcohol and drugs, like I mentioned to you at that mastermind. It was just a really dark moment in my life, and everything that I saved up, I got into a gambling problem. I started dabbling into penny stocks, crypto, online poker, all this crazy shit. I borrowed a lot of money from my grandma. I told her it was for business, but I put it into gambling. I was like 100 grand in debt at that point, and I was just like in this fat depression, lowest point in my life. And then from that point, like one day I'm just in bed, feeling like a piece of human trash, just alcohol and everything. Someone reached out to me and was like, hey, Danny, were you the guy who ran ads for that one e-commerce brand, which was my brand? I was like, yeah, that was actually me. What do you guys need? They're like, oh, we loved how the strategy you guys use. We're actually looking for an ads manager. You don't have to come into work. You can work on your own time, work in your bed, work like 2 hours a week. We don't need like a CMO type position. We just need someone to manage the ads on a daily basis, and we're gonna pay you $2,000 or $3,000 per month. So in my head, I was like, holy shit, like you guys are willing to pay me a few $1,000s for like 2 hours a day worth of work? Because at that point, I was pretty skilled with Facebook ads. That's what I learned from my last job. I was like, fuck yeah, right? And so that was my first experience of like agency freelancer world, like just kind of working with my laptop, handling ads for a company. And from there, yeah, man, from there, it just fucking snowballed. Got referrals on referrals. My first clients were always e-commerce clients. Oh, what's up, Abby? Appreciate that. Appreciate
That's a great question. We'll have to dive into that here after you finish this thought.
Yeah. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so it was like referrals and referrals. My first few clients were all e-commerce clients. So that eventually got to like a 7 to 8K per month mark. I was like, holy shit, like this is pretty cool. Like I really like this whole agency model where I can just work on my own time. It's not really like a job I have to come into every single day. But I was handling everything myself. Let me say that. I've always been like a solopreneur. I did all the ads, I did everything. Eventually it became such like a full-time job for each client. Because like I'm sure you know, if you handle a campaign for an e-commerce client, there's a lot of stuff that goes behind it, right? There's strategy, there's branding, there's content, there's like literally making audiences on a daily basis, testing, scaling, all these things.
Horrible.
So each client was literally like a fucking full-time job for me. And I was like, I can't handle 3 or 4 clients. Eventually I niched down to local businesses because I wanted to find a process that I could duplicate and scale up. And I was like, okay, local businesses are fucking easy compared to e-commerce and what I was doing. You're just targeting an area. So I did that. I got into the health and wellness space. So I worked with everyone from like gyms, chiropractors, med spas, cool sculpting, cryotherapy, personal trainers, CrossFits, all that good stuff. And then man, it's been amazing. From there, I was able to scale up. And then I was just traveling a little bit more. It was like, Greece. I was living in Florida for a bit. That's how I met all the other digital marketers in the circle and whatnot. And then nowadays I just focus on the coaching side of things, man. And it's been a wild journey, and that's kind of like the short version of it.
Yeah, dude. And guys, Danny is a great agency coach as well. So let's talk about how you got out of that $100,000 in debt. I mean, that's a big number, and a lot of people would hide under their bed for that number. So what'd you do to get out of that?
Yeah, so with my local business agency, we were consistently making 30K a month in 2018. So most of it was profit. So I didn't have any overhead because I was working by myself. I didn't have a team. I didn't have anything at that point. I literally just had a laptop and I was just running ads on my laptop, making 30K a month with the agency. So it took about 5 months to get out of that 100K in debt. Which was awesome. I got out of that last year, and yeah, man, it's been a wild ride. But when I was in that debt, it was literally like the worst thing. Like I'm sure people have like school debt, people have like degree debt and whatnot. And just seeing that negative balance in your bank account, it's a pretty shitty feeling, man. And so once I was out of that debt, I was officially at $14.61. I actually have the screenshot too. Best feeling ever, right? So yeah, it's been a wild ride, my man.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. Guys, if you have any questions, like Abby is dropping in the comments, if you have questions, let us know. Drop in the comments, because Danny's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Like everybody's posting these highlight reels on Facebook, guys, but I don't bring guests in this group to talk about the highlight reels. I bring guests on that have been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and is going to tell you about everything leading up to that. So I saw that you had, and Abby already brought this up, I saw you had a client on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Talk about that. What is that? How did you do that?
Yeah, so you know what Shark Tank is, right?
Yeah, man.
I told this in another interview. They're like, "What's Shark Tank?" So so Shark Tank is basically this pitch show where startup companies can pitch, or even bigger companies, they can pitch to venture capitalists to get more funding for their current company. So this was one of my very first e-commerce clients. They're called Toy Box. You guys can look them up. They're still a client of mine. It's been like 2 years, which is abnormally crazy for an agency client. Yeah. So 2 years. And they sell 3D printers for kids. So basically you have like a mobile app, you can draw whatever you want and you click print, and this 3D printer will just print for them. So instead of going to the store and buying like a Lego or like one Batman or whatever it is, you can literally just print your own toys at home. So you never have to spend money on it again. So it's just this awesome concept.
Crazy.
Their campaign was fucking crazy because it's such a high ticket product. It's like a $400 product. And so we struggled on the beginning. But of last year, we were able to get them to 1.5 million in revenue. And so that gave them a fuck ton of traction in terms of like getting eyeballs on them. And then eventually they pulled some strings. They were able to get on Shark Tank. They got a deal with Kevin O'Leary. It was like 150K for a few percent, like very small percentage. And then they got a deal there that gave them even more traction. And so now we're still capitalizing on all the traffic they're getting from Shark Tank. And
do you get contact with Kevin O'Leary through them?
I do not, but I should ask.
You should ask, dude. That'd be awesome.
I should definitely ask. Yeah, and recently they got into The Price is Right too. Do you know that show?
Really?
Yeah, so their product was on The Price is Right. They also got on a show on Netflix. I forgot what show it was. Like one of those nerdy science shows.
Great, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, so they're like getting traction everywhere, and it's just so awesome to still have them as a client of mine. It's been 2 years, and as an agency owner, maybe we can talk about client retention later, but it's just crazy to have a client stay with you for so long, because in the agency world, there's a lot of fucking problems that come with client relationships, right? The expectations go out of the roof. You don't perform anymore, they fire you. But just maintaining a good, open, transparent, and honest relationship with them, it's been able to help us keep that relationship alive for the span of 2 years. And it's just so odd. Go ahead.
From a linear standpoint, right? Like something straight down the ladder. What do you do to retain clients? Like, what is a step-by-step that you do to retain clients?
So a few things. Well, it depends what kind of client, right? Clients, right? It's expectations. I've had in the beginning, I never set any expectations. I was just so money driven. Like I would say anything to make the client happy, so they would sign on with me. And when you do that and you don't set that expectation that this is what's possible and this is what you can ideally do, they're gonna have their expectations right here. What you can do is right here, and there's this gap that never gets closed. And that's the thing that makes clients leave, right? If they think they can make $1 million in a month and you can only generate them like 30 leads, obviously there's some sort of disconnect. So that client is going to leave when you can't perform the results that you were never able to get anyways. So setting those client expectations at the beginning, the biggest thing for me is having a great relationship with my clients. So many guys get into this game and they're so money hungry that once they sign on the client, they forget the client, right? Like they do all this like communication. They're like, they do the sales process, they get the onboarding, they do one great month, and then they don't maintain that relationship. Like they don't communicate with them on a regular basis. Eventually that client is going to leave, right? And my big philosophy is try to be great friends with your clients. So what I do is I send them t-shirts, I send them cupcakes, I have like end of month reviews. We have this open relationship where they can provide feedback and whatnot. And by doing that, you become really good friends with them. And it's really hard to fire your best friend, right? So we've had situations where we've had bad months. Like we were underperforming, but because we've had that strong relationship, they understand like, okay, Danny, like this month didn't go as well. I'm glad that you're transparent and honest with us. Let's hope next month is better. So they're willing to stay on with you. You keep that open, transparent relationship. And so my biggest piece of advice, don't be so fucking money hungry all the time. Retain your clients, right? Because you have this whole process, prospecting, sale, discovery calls, demo, sales, onboarding, and then it's just the client retention, the small end part of the funnel. Focus on that part so you don't have to do all of that again and try to keep on having to get new clients every time. So
dude, that is such a big, like, that's so important, guys. Like we focus on acquisition. Retention has never been my big thing.
Yeah.
And because I've never been super great at it, because I've been so good at acquisition that I've never worried about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, the retention, everyone gets so focused on just selling the contract, but then what if that contract ends? Or what if it sucks throughout the contract?
Yeah.
Like this information is awesome, bro.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not talking to them on a regular basis, when it comes to time, when they're like figuring out their expenses, they're gonna say, who the fuck is this $3,000 charge from Robb, Quinn, LLC?
Right.
Like, I don't need this guy anymore. He's not doing anything. He doesn't even talk to me. So I've had a lot of talks with my clients, and it's always that relationship that you build with them. I truly believe that the whole agency world is a very relationship-based market, relationship-based industry. And so I think that's the one thing that people forget. They're like, okay, I can make 10K a month to travel the world and be free, but they're not thinking about like the daily nitty-gritty things that entail in terms of maintaining that client long-term. Because, client churn is fucking notoriously known in our industry, right? So why not spend that little bit of time to retain that client than spending all this time trying to close new clients all the time? So they both go hand in hand.
Oh, fucking love that. Because we just recently, I've been in business for a year and a half. I just recently put together a system. So this way we're constantly following up with all of our coaching clients, because we never did it with our agency.
Yeah.
Right. So it was all about acquisition. We could scale so fast, but we would lose clients after like 3 or 6 months.
100% every time.
Yeah, dude. So we just now started putting in that frequent engagement. We have somebody that their only job is to engage with clients at certain points of the process. And is that what you guys do? How do you guys do that?
Yeah. So I just
CRM or what?
Yeah. So I use assign an account manager to that specific client. And there's a specific communication timeline. So every week we send like a report, and at the end of the month we have like an end of month review. So just small things like that. And in terms of like milestones, so every like month or 2 months or 3 months or holidays, we'll send them stuff. So we'll send them shirts, we'll send them cupcakes. Are fucking awesome, dude. So there's dude, you can deliver cupcakes anywhere in the world. People are like, I can't deliver it to my clients. I can't drive. So if people in here are in the lead gen field, right?
Yeah. Well, lead gen, SMA, which falls into
So, I mean, I'm sure most of you guys are working with offices that have receptionists that are doing all the dirty work for you in terms of the follow-up, right? And most of the times you guys aren't even acknowledging them. So every month or two, just send them a cupcake. Ask the client what the names are. Hey, thanks, Chrissy. Thanks, Josie, for doing all the follow-ups. I appreciate all the hard work. Here's a few cupcakes. It makes it a huge difference, right? Because when you guys think about it, the front desk, they're getting paid minimum wage. Handling Robb's leads were not part of their contract or agreement when they signed on. So you're basically putting this new process on them. Why should they care, especially if they're getting paid minimum wage? So doing small things like that, acknowledging the staff, sending them gifts and whatnot, maintaining that relationship with that whole business, that's going to set you guys up for long-term success and client retention over time.
Dude, that is fire.
Yeah, cupcakes, guys. That's all you guys need.
That's crazy. Just cupcakes, man. That's nuts. I love this, man. We don't talk enough about the retention game and anything, whether any type of consulting, agency owners, coaching, whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, if it comes to the lead gen stuff, especially the SMMA world, doing stuff like training the staff too, right? Like I feel like a lot of people, they put on this whole new process onto the client, and there's really no expectation setting and there's no training. Like, how is this business supposed to know what to do if you don't tell them? Like, I'm not saying like a lot of people, they just send over like a sheet. This is what you're supposed to do. They're not going to read that. You guys actually need to get on calls with the staff on a regular basis and show them what to do. This is what you guys need to do with the spreadsheet. This is how you guys follow up. This is how you guys leave voicemails. This is how many times you need to follow up. This is exactly what you guys need to say. Record them Loom videos, walk them through all these different things. So again, expectations, building relationships, and just doing everything that you can to maintain that relationship with the front desk staff. Dude,
that is next level, man. That is awesome. Yeah. Well, guys, let us know if you have any questions too down below. So I know we have here, Abby was saying, what was your favorite place to visit when you were a digital nomad?
Dude, so many. So I'm a big nature guy. I don't like city too much. Like when I visit like London and whatnot, it's cool and all, but I love actually going to like the outskirts and the countryside. So favorite place in the world is Faroe Islands, Faroe. So it's like a small island off Iceland. So it was just beautiful, man. Just seeing like coast and like waterfalls and whatnot. It's just like next level. Iceland and Faroe Islands. I also love Southeast Asia, so places like Vietnam and Thailand, because everything is so cheap, man. You have $5 and you can live like a king, because each meal is like 40 cents. So if you guys ever want to like live a digital nomad life, I would really suggest going to Southeast Asia. Everything is just dirt cheap.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Hey, so what did you think? How was that when you were traveling and running your business? Did that decline sales? I mean, what did that look like for you?
It requires a lot of commitment for sure, because when you're in a new area, all you want to do is explore and just be and live and be present in that area. So in the beginning, it was definitely really hard. I felt like if I stayed in one place, my business would have been like 3 times what it is now. But I'm super grateful for the experience. Like the reason why I got into the agency world or just online business in general was for the freedom to travel, and that's kind of one of my biggest passions. But yeah, it's possible. You just got to have the dedication to spend like 7-8 hours a day to sit down and just work on your business. And so that was kind of last year. Now I'm back home in the Bay Area, just focusing on scaling the business to where it needs to be. It's definitely hard. To answer your question, it's hard, but definitely doable.
So what do you believe? Because I know that your business is doing well.
Yeah.
So what do you believe is like, do you believe in the 4-hour work week? Do you believe that's a thing? Or how many hours do you believe has been workable for you? Because I know how many hours I work. So how many hours do you work a week?
Man, I work like 8 to 12 hours a day, man. And I think it's because I'm in the process of building a team. I'm in the process of developing systems. And so my business is at the point where I need to have these systems in place to get to that next level. Granted, if I want to leave it where it is now, I probably only need to work 2 to 3 hours a day, just because where I am now is all the systems that I've developed in the past few months, but I really want to get this business to that next level. So it's just requiring all this like daily nitty gritty shit to get it to where it needs to be.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because, dude, I myself also work, I mean, a minimum of 6 hours a day to 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So just so everyone can hear that, because everyone thinks like, oh, just because you're making like you were saying, we'll do between 6 and 750 this year as a company, our second year, but that doesn't mean working less.
Yeah.
People think like you work this 4-hour work week because you become a millionaire, and it's super not true.
Yeah. It's definitely possible. You got to have the systems in place, but to always get your business to that next level, you got to put in the work. And yeah, I think that book is great. It showed the opportunity, but I think it sold too much of the raw dream as well. So I kind of conflicted.
Yeah, no, 100%, because it made me believe, like maybe see it. I'm looking at the different. Philip said 2 great guys. Yeah. Winks.
What's up, Philip? What's up, Brad? He said Stids. I think he meant Studs, but you're a stud too, Brad.
Yeah. Oh, glad he put the I in there. It would have been weird. Cool. So Abby said, what was the 70-day challenge like for you? Oh, dude, I totally forgot you did that, man. That was awesome. I was watching your stories on IG now and again.
Yeah. So I guess I can talk a little bit about it. So do you know Andy Frisella?
No. Can you explain the 75-day challenge too? Because a lot of people probably maybe not know about it.
Yeah. So it's both a mental and a physical challenge, and it's to basically teach yourself like dedication and commitment. Before I started, I realized that I've lacked a lot of commitment in my life in terms of business, relationships, and I'm like, if I lack commitment in these small things, I'm pretty sure I lack commitment in so many other areas of my life. Like I'm easily influenced, I give a lot of excuses, I'm easily peer pressured, and these were all negative traits that I wanted to change about myself. So the 75-day challenge is basically 75 days straight, no excuses. Anytime that you cheat whatsoever, you have to start over, and you're holding yourself accountable, right? Because I think a lot of times when people are on things like gym programs, they'll cheat here and there. Like they'll do like one less set, they'll skip one day, but they'll lie about it. And they're like, oh, look, I finished, guys. And so it's really on you to hold yourself accountable and to finish it. And so the physical part, you got to do 2 workouts a day. One of them had to be outside and one of them had to be inside. You figure out the workout, but it was hard because regardless of the environment, you still had to go through with it. So if it was raining, thunderstorming, hailing, you still had to do your 1-hour workout outside. Even if that meant putting a yoga mat in the rain and doing like crunches or running. And so it was hard because I would finish work at like 2 or 3 a.m. I'm like, fuck, I still need to do my outdoor workout. So that's why you would see me run at like 4 a.m. sometimes. So that was that. You had to drink a gallon of water a day. You had to actively read 15 pages, and you had to take a progress picture every day. And then there was the diet side, which was you had to write down all of the things that matter most to you, and then cut that out of your diet. So I used to drink beer every day. So I had to cut beer out of my diet. I had to take alcohol out. No fast food, no fried food, no sweets, no desserts, no snacks, no boba, no yogurt. And these were all of these things that I ate every single day. So it was like quitting cold turkey for 75 days straight. And it was just hard. And anytime you cheated, you had to start over. And so, yeah, man, it's been a really crazy 75 days. And I definitely felt like it changed my life a little bit. So
did you have to start over at all?
No, not at all. So it was crazy, man. Like, because like I love, just casually drinking with my friends. And so like the first, I would say 2 to 3 weeks, a lot of peer pressure for sure. But I think after like that month of constantly saying no to things, it just programs your mind to just, not really care about that shit anymore. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy 2.5 months. So that's for sure.
Are you still like continuing those habits? Do you feel like now it's just a part of your daily routine?
Yeah. I think I realized that I have a tendency to be too much or do too much in the past, when it comes to like eating, when it comes to drinking, when it comes to like overworking myself. So I think after the challenge, it's helped me kind of take a step back and just kind of think before I act a lot more and just be a lot more dedicated, motivated, and committed to the things that I do on a daily basis. Even the things with like ADHD, right? Like I have all these tasks every day. And sometimes when I'm in the middle of one and I don't finish it, I'll go to the next one because I'm like, oh, it's too hard, or I'm too lazy, or I can finish it later. So just little things like that. It's helped. It's definitely helped, man.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Whoa. Yeah. Man, I would love to get on. I don't know why I didn't do that. I didn't even hear about it until like halfway through, and I started seeing people like you and a few of our other friends like going through that. So that's very cool.
Yeah, who else is on it? Sema's on it.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
on it.
Sema's on it. I think that's it for like Margaret.
On it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's other phases now that I'm probably gonna get on. So you'll probably see a lot more videos of me running at like 4 a.m.
That's sweet. Are you so how does that, I'm gonna kind of backpedal a little bit before we start opening up for more questions, but
Sure.
did you have assistants, or did you have someone in-house or yourself that was following up with your clients, like an account manager, or how hands-off were you?
Yeah, so I was very, very hands-on. I'm still very hands-on to this day. And so right now I'm in the process of hiring an in-house team. But I did outsource specific people for specific projects. So if I had a client where it was in a niche where I didn't know how to run ads, then I would outsource specifically for that. But I had the problem of being too hands-on with everything. And I think that's a problem that a lot of entry-level entrepreneurs have. They have what you call like Superman syndrome, and they think they can do everything. And that was me for the longest time. And so this year is finally the year where I'm trying to be a lot more hands-off. And right now I'm in the process of getting my in-house team so they can do that day-to-day communication with everybody.
Yeah, dude, that's a totally different set of obstacles, man, building the in-house team.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hit you up, my man.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up about the retention stuff, see what we can do together, because guys, if you're only focused on acquisition, which our programs are great for that, we can get you clients fast, but retention's everything. Like, yeah, we'll sell them on contracts, but then what if you have a bad relationship within that term?
Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you don't have a retention program, you do not have a predictable income stream that's coming in, because at the end of the contract, you never know if that client's going to stay. And by having the proper retention systems in place, you can always expect to retain that client over time. And if you're just having that relationship with them and communicating with them on a regular basis, you'll have a pretty good idea if they're going to sign on with you or not the next month. And so I think, too many agency owners, they just, sign on the client, they set and forget it. And they're like, oh shit, why did I lose this client when I was getting all these results? Well, you kind of missed the whole retention system with that client.
Dude, 100%, man. Guys, if you have any other questions, let me know. So Danny, what's a piece of advice that you would give to other agency owners that, let's just say, are just starting out? Because there's a lot of people we notice that join Facebook groups similar to this that are really just trying to figure things out.
Yeah. Imperfect action is better than no action, right? I think too many people are trying to absorb too much fucking free content. Let's just say they're in my group and they're in your group, and they're hearing from two different people who are in the game, right? Obviously, in this game, there's no right way to do any one thing. And when you're trying to absorb too much content from too many different people, you're never going to start, because you're in this vicious cycle of being stagnant, because you're getting overwhelmed with all this content that's being thrown at you. You're like, is Rob right? Is Abby right? Is Danny right? I don't know. I have all of these tasks that I need to do, but I don't know which one's the right one, and I'll never get started. And I think that's the problem with so many agency owners. Like, they just don't take action. They just keep on absorbing free content, video after video, group after group, and they just never get started. And the thing with this is you learn from the journey, right? You're going to make so many fucking mistakes. You're going to get so many rejections. It's a numbers game. You just got to get on those sales calls. You just got to send out those cold messages, and you learn from the mistakes that you make along the way. So it's probably not the answer that people want to hear, but that's just always been the biggest piece of advice. Imperfect action is always better than no action. If you don't take action, you're never going to get anywhere.
That is exactly right. Abby says she's right. So that's funny.
Abby's on every live. I love it, Abby.
And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, we're talking about people that are commenting in the comments right now. So if you guys want to be a part of the lives, and come join my Facebook group, links in the description underneath this YouTube video if you're watching the replay on YouTube, because it's fun, man. We always have usually a few dozen people on these lives. So it's pretty cool, dude. So let's go ahead and talk about, if you had a superpower, right? What would that superpower be and why?
If I had a superpower?
Superpower.
Oh, man, what's your superpower?
Dude, you can't flip this around. I asked you first.
Superpower? I don't know, man. Are we talking about in terms of the agency world?
In terms of just you. And
man, I think in terms of the agency world, I would always love to know what my clients are thinking, right? I think it's such like an unpredictable business. You never know what's going to happen. And shit always hits the fan, and I feel like with the agency world, you're always kind of putting out fires because shit always happens. So I would love for superpower where I can have a predictable business where I know what's going on every single day. Yeah, man, kind of boring superpower, but that would be mine.
Hey, that's a good ass superpower though.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, if you guys are trying to get the agency world, just kind of, I feel like a lot of people are also selling the dream that it's going to be a very easy journey. But I'm sure you face this too. Like you're just putting out fires all the time. Like there's just shit that just comes up I would say every day, very frequently. And, it's upon you to overcome those obstacles and challenges and to get your business back on track. Because there's all these things that are there's always going to throw a wrench in your business, right? And so I think that's what also makes the journey fun, and just seeing the whole journey and seeing all the obstacles that you overcame throughout the lifetime of your business. Super fulfilling, man.
Yeah, man, it is. And the thing is, I just feel like people quit too soon. I had a client of mine who I only run a consulting company now. We don't do the agency anymore. We consult on how to build the agency. And so when I say client, I mean like people that bought into my coaching programs.
Yeah.
But so he messaged me on WhatsApp because I give direct access to people via WhatsApp to me. And he's like, man, I'm finally booking appointments now every day using this prospecting like automation. And he's like, but it took him like a month to get it dialed in.
Yeah.
And he's like, now I can see why people quit.
Yeah. Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
I feel like people don't develop systems early enough and they get discouraged when they don't get results, especially when it comes to prospecting, right?
Yeah.
I get back to the thing where people are absorbing so much free content. Everyone is preaching something new nowadays. Someone's preaching LinkedIn, someone's doing cold calls, someone's doing in-person meetings, someone's doing Instagram DMs, someone's doing Twitter now, right? Someone's doing Facebook Messenger. All of these things work. You just need to figure out what works for you and develop a system around that and know your numbers. Because I have had like clients in my programs that they do like 3 cold calls, they do 1 in-person meeting, 2 DMs, 1 LinkedIn message. They don't get results. It's like, this fucking sucks. It's not working. But it's like, okay, well, did you develop a system around one specific thing that works for you? So for me, I know my numbers, right? It's like out of every 20 DMs I send, I should get 1 response. And out of like 7 responses, I should get 1 close. So if I do that consistently, I should land 1 new client every single week, right? And that was back in my like solopreneur, doing it by myself, hacking out the daily prospecting every day. And so by literally having a system and knowing your numbers, it's impossible to fail if you hit those consistent numbers every single day. And I feel like it's hard for people to understand that, especially at the beginning. But once you get that first client, just reverse engineer what it took to get you there and build a system around that. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out there.
Yeah, no, it's 100%. And a lot of people don't want to organize their time in order to take that level of action. They'll feel like they make, let's say, 10 phone calls because they don't know how to set up the automation. Make 10 phone calls, they didn't get a hold of anyone. They feel like it doesn't work.
Yeah, 100%. It always happens.
It's awesome, man. So I know you have a hard stop in like 10 minutes. So when it comes to your business and your project, I want to talk about this a little bit before we get off. So goal setting, how does it work with your goals? So what's the difference in the goals when you first started versus your goals now? Because you've been in business 2 years now.
Yeah. I think it's setting realistic goals, just because I think at every incremental increase of your business, you kind of understand what it's required to get to that next level. In terms of like investment, maybe like mentorships and whatnot. And so for me, the one thing that's helped me level every single time was investing into mentorships from a person that was in a position that I aspired to be, not only like personally, but financially, right? If someone is making 100K a month right now, that is the person I want to model. So I'm just going to do whatever it takes to invest in that mentorship so they can help me get to where they are. And it's literally like them handing their business on a silver platter for me. And so in the beginning, it was always these unrealistic goals. I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire by 22 because I made $100,000 with my e-commerce brand, right? It's just not, I won't say it's not possible. It's just there was no predictable way or route or direction to get there. So for now, it's like, it's a lot more, what's the word? It's a lot more predictable because I can basically figure out where I want to hit and just reverse engineer exactly what I need to hit in order to get there. So if I want to hit my next goal for this month is 50K a month, right? So that's figuring out, okay, how many clients do I need to hit? How many people do I need to enroll in my coaching program? And then just work backwards from there. And because I know my numbers, if I'm consistent with my outreach, my sales and everything every single day, I should have no problem hitting that number if I am consistent with my numbers every single day. I hope that made sense.
It does. And for people that are trying to figure out how to do that, if you can use a platform that'll help you do that a little faster. So this isn't like a plug for affiliate thing or anything. like we use Salesforce now, and I used Salesforce for years, for like 4 years prior to my own business. And those numbers you're talking about can be auto-populated in Salesforce report. Because for us, man, it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's just easier to see when you reverse engineer it and you're like, okay, these are the numbers I have to hit this week, this month, this day. You literally have an action plan to do something every single day in order to hit your goal. And I think that's the problem with entry-level entrepreneurs. Like they just set these unrealistic goals and they don't really have an action plan to get there. Like, yeah, I want to be a millionaire by 27. Well, it's like, okay, how much do you need to make a month to get there? How every single week, every single day? Okay, now you know those numbers. What do you have to do specifically to hit those numbers? So again, it's just reverse engineering, having a very predictable and reliable method to hit the numbers I want to hit.
Yep, exactly. Well, is there anything else, any advice or any insight from your experience that you would want to give everyone right now? Because, you know, in a Facebook group, there are so many new people coming in that just want to figure it out. I know whenever I join a group, at this point now, if I join a group, it's because I want to figure this thing out or want to get some support. So what insights can you give from your experience in this group?
So I would say learn with intention. Don't learn just to learn. So I always have like a specific golden nugget I want to learn to move the needle for my business, right? And I think this goes the same with conferences and masterminds and all these other things that people try to go to level up. You know, sure, being in the environment and talking to other people helps, but you know, people get shiny object syndrome is very real. Right, with all of us. And if you're constantly going to these things to continually absorb and learn, you're never going to get anywhere. So I would say learn with intention, figure out what's that one thing you need in order to move that needle for your business. For example, you suck at sales and sales is the bottleneck that's preventing your business from moving forward. Join a group like Robb's, which is very sales centric, right? Don't just join other SMMA groups where they're talking about like lookalike audiences and all these other things that's going to confuse you. Learn with intention. Figure out what's that one bottleneck in your business and learn that specific thing only for that. So again, if you guys are going to conferences and masterminds, and I'm having this problem right now with a lot of my clients and my programs, they're going to all these masterminds and they're thinking they're learning a lot. But again, it's just, information overload. They're not coming with a specific intention to learn that one specific thing to move that business forward.
Yeah, dude, that is great advice. I was an info junkie too, but whenever you reach a certain threshold, and like you said, if you want to be at 100,000 a month, you go learn from somebody that is doing 100,000 a month.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's awesome.
Don't take advice from bad people too. I see people taking advice from their friends and family and the people around them. It's like, if they're not in a position that you aspire to be in, I don't say don't give the time of the day. Take what they say with a grain of salt.
Right. In that topic, you know, if there's a parent that is an amazing parent but sucks at business, or vice versa, an amazing parent that isn't a great parent but is amazing at business, make sure you take advice at what you want to learn in that thing.
100%.
Not both things. So Danny, where can everyone find you, man? Because the information's freaking boss. So Jim's saying, cool info. I'm working on a video sales letter prior to a call on Zoom call. How long is your VSL? So Jim, Danny, we can go into yours for a second, but the way we teach this and the way we did it when we ran ads, we have two ways. So we do it when you did it organically, you get them on the phone, book a Google Calendar. The VSL sends in the Google Calendar invite. So they have to watch that prior to the call. When we ran ads, we ran them to a VSL. And then 1 minute before it ended, we had a CTA, Jim. That CTA went to a long form application, and then they booked the call with us. So that's how ours works. Mine was, between 8 and 12 minutes.
Got it. And this is for like new agency clients, I'm assuming?
Well, Jim just asked a question down there, so I just want to answer it. He said he's working on a video sales letter prior to a call.
Yeah. So I just to answer that real quick. I used to run ads for my agency too. I probably spent less than like $1,000. Now it's all referral based. And this thing I want to mention too, have a fucking great referral program with your agency, right? Your current assets, your current clients are usually your most underutilized assets. And if they're business owners, they know other business owners. And I see the mistake of people not asking for referrals, not only during the close, but during that lifetime with that client. And it's like free money, guys. If they're a business owner, they probably know other business owners. And so the thing that was able to help my agency scale so quickly for the past year was literally just asking referrals and having a great referral program in place. So we do not run any more ads for our agency. Our customer acquisition cost is like zero, just because we're banking on referrals all the time now, which is awesome.
That is awesome. Yeah, it's funny because clients will keep coming in. My mom owns her own business too. She just signed a client for her business, and she called me. It was like, "Hey, this insurance client wants to run ads. Do you want to run ads for him?"
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I'm sure somebody will. I'll find somebody. Like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
But,
Just ask your friends and family, guys. If you're struggling for your first client, friends, your family, your current network, that's your most underutilized assets, right? Like, I'm sure they know a ton of business owners that need help or could benefit from your services. So don't be afraid to ask. I let my ego get in the way because, as an entrepreneur, like, I don't need any help. I can do it myself. I don't need my parents. So ask, man. Like, the best thing I ever did was put a story on my Instagram. I said, hey guys, if you guys know any business owners that you refer to me and I close them, I'll Venmo you $300, no questions asked. And that literally got me a few clients. So don't be afraid to ask your friends and family. And to answer your last question, you guys can find my Facebook group. It's called the Digital Entrepreneur Community. You can just click my profile, click my profile, and then it should be like the first link on the banner, whatever it is, or just look up Digital Entrepreneur Community. We talk a lot about agency stuff, also digital nomading, travel, a lot of the stuff that we talked about today. Client retention, if you guys are interested in that. You guys can also follow me on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there. It's Danny Tran, DANNYTUTRAN. And I just literally document my journey every single day. Dude,
that's awesome, man. Do you have anything that you'd be able to give out to everybody or anything like that?
Yeah. If you guys are struggling with niches, I have, it's updated now. I have a book of 2,000 local business niches that I could give away. So if you guys are still going after the chiropractors and gyms down the street that 10,000 people and their moms are going after, this list is going to be super beneficial for you.
Do you want to drop that in the comments?
Yeah, I'll drop that in the comments right after this.
Nice.
Give us a hashtag 2000, then I can respond to those. Hashtag 2000.
Yes.
Smash the like button, the heart button for Rob too. This was an awesome interview. Appreciate that, my man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for hopping on. So we're going to jump off now, but guys, make sure you go follow Danny on his Instagram and go to his Facebook group, which you could find on his personal profile. Okay. And then Danny, after this call, is going to drop that list of 2,000 niches into the comments of this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, you need to go to my Facebook group to find this video if you want that download. So awesome, guys. Appreciate you. And Danny, thanks again, man.
Cool, man. Have a good one, guys. Thanks, Rob.